With a divided nation and a polarized election, the possibility of unrest following the election is very real.
That's right, Jenna. But as CBN national security correspondent Eric Phillips reports, there are a few actions that could derail any violence. Eric.
John, Jenna, we've seen increased threats, even reports of potential plots to spark unrest after the election. Some experts say increased rhetoric is a large part of the problem. Part of the solution? Increased prayer.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
It doesn't take much to recognize that there is extreme unrest in our country right now. COVID-19, racial unrest, government opposition. The nation is divided along so many fault lines, and inserted in the middle of it is a major contentious presidential election.
Anyone who's responsible for that many deaths should not remain as President of the United States of America.
Proud boys, stand back and stand by.
Authorities say even when there's no obvious activity, factions are simmering beneath the surface.
Within the racially and ethnically motivated violent extremists, I would say the biggest chunk of those, I can't give you a percentage, but the biggest chunk of that are individuals who are motivated by some form of white supremacist ideology.
The Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project tracks conflicts all over the world, including white supremacist groups in the U.S. Their research follows 9 major ones, ranking them in violence potential from low to very high.
You know, any person of faith or decency should be able to say there's no place for white supremacy in the United States, period. And when the President of the United States has trouble saying that, we have a problem.
On the left, the group Shut Down D.C. has posted a plan entitled Stopping the Coup, the Disruption Guide for 2020. It details shutting down the country and forcing President Trump from power if the presidential election is too close to call. So how will this dangerous cocktail play out after Election Day? Already, crews in Washington have been boarding up buildings in anticipation of potential disruption. On Friday, a group of Trump supporters surrounded a Biden campaign bus in Texas, leading nervous Biden staffers to cancel an event. To that, the president tweeted, "I love Texas." Then on Sunday, a car caravan dubbed a Trump train rolled through Richmond, Virginia, clashing with opposing protesters at the Robert E. Lee Monument. Lawyer and political commentator Van Jones says quelling post-election violence could boil down to one simple concession speech on either side.
That concession speech helps the tens of millions of people who voted for that person to accept the outcome.
Pastor Rick McDaniel notes the potential lag time between Election Day and official results could foster unrest.
We have to pray for God's will, even if it may be different than what our will is or what we want.
Pastor Rick said we also need to pray for acceptance as well. Authorities in several states are gearing up for what could be post-election chaos, even having the National Guard on standby. The hope is that won't be needed.